All right. All right. Are we live here? Woo. My lighting is off. Big time. Give me just a minute. Oh, there it got a little bit better. Let me be right back. Hey, that's better. All right. How's it going, everybody? Those y'all just tuning in here with us this fine evening here, or if you later on come back on the playback here, my name's Austin, and of course, this is Fintastic Freaks. Thank y'all so much for tuning in here this evening here. Got another awesome stream here. Hopefully you guys think it's awesome anyway. Here to sit here and chat. As you can see, I know some people might look at this and wonder if it's going to be a little bit of a repeat. I mean, obviously, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I like puffers, but plenty of other fish I like out there too. And today, while I tell you some of my favorites and why they're my favorites and a little bit of tips and things about them, feel free to share to me what your favorite fish are in the comments here as well. I always love hearing what everybody's into. I know we got some saltwater folks, some freshwater folk. I mean, some people in the live bearers, angelfish, all sorts of stuff. I know some of y'all like to follow me for puffers. So whatever your favorite fish are, I mean, you can be as specific as you want here. Bring them at me. I would love to know. All right, here. Already got a lot of awesome folks here. As you can see, my video orientation's a little new here today. You can probably see a little bit of my clutter there in the corner there. But I don't know. Been having a little bit of a backache, I guess, over the past couple of days. So I didn't just get my normal chair like I usually do to just sit here between the tank here. And I got a bigger chair here now to hopefully relax myself a little bit better. Let's see here. Before we get into things, Mystery Snail Guardians, welcome. I think I've seen you here pretty much every live stream now that we've done. Awesome to see you coming back here. Must be hopefully because I'm doing something right here. I got Voltage, Skippers Aquariums, Victor, Albert. Welcome, everybody. Sandy is here with us as well. Eduardo, Geek Boy, Ray Aquatics, the Zen Ginger. How's it going? Select Pet is here as well. Paul McCarthy, Melvin Reef, another frequent visitor. How's it going, Melvin? Good to see you. All sorts of awesome folks already here. Or 10 awesome people here to be precise. Awesome. Always love seeing all sorts of fish keepers here. So yes, as you can all tell, like I said a moment ago, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that obviously pufferfish are my number one here. But I mean, and I was just thinking about this, honestly, not too long ago, that I need to do some videos on some of my other favorite fish because puffers are definitely number one with me. I definitely have a soft spot for plenty of other fish, especially like the one that's probably right behind puffers would probably be angelfish. I mean, and not just a specific kind, but I'd have to think about it for a minute to think of how many different species of angelfish I even have down here, but I know at least a handful of them. I can think off the top of my head. We got some Philippine blue angels down here. I got some blue diamond platinums. I got some marbles, different kinds of marble angels. Obviously back here, right there by the tree roots, you can see in my 240 here behind me. Got a koi angelfish. Something about angelfish. I guess it kind of goes hand in hand with why I like, or part of the reason why I like puffers is because they both have like a unique swim style, really. But I don't know. So, while pufferfish kind of have like those little helicopter fins that just kind of go all over, angelfish are really soothing. I don't know why it is, but well, I guess I do know why. But ever since I was a kid, watching angelfish just go through the water, and to me, it doesn't even look like they swim. It's just like, you know what I mean? They just float. They just glide through the water, and especially in like a live planet tank with like, I guess my ideology of an aquascape for angelfish with like some driftwood and like some jungle valve, maybe some crypts in there as well. It's a beautiful thing to look at. All sorts of awesome folks here. Victor Alberts, speaking of puffers here a moment ago, is asking, what's the new puffer? Well, I mean, we got 3 new ones down here. I showed you 2 of the new ones here in the in my recent video. Those of you that haven't seen that one, yes, just Saturday, I believe it was, I released it. Yeah, it would have been Saturday, I'm pretty sure. Saturday afternoon, I released a new video showing off 2 new puffers here. Obviously, a few weeks ago in the live stream, we all saw Chief, my Arrowhead Puffer. He's still doing well here. Finally starting to eat a little bit better. Starting to learn his niches and what he likes to eat. He's still very much on the live-fed diet. He'll sometimes try to chase the minnows. The problem for him, though, is those minnows are way faster than he is. Thus, usually he has better luck catching the shrimp, the crayfish, and overall, yeah, it's good to see him starting to eat better, though. Same thing with the new Congo Puffer that we have here, not to be confused with the red Congo we have. I know on the camera he looked a little reddish. He was just labeled as a typical Congo Puffer, although I wonder if there's maybe a little bit of red in him at least, because he's definitely got at least a little bit of an orangish color to him, doesn't he? But he also still very much on a live-fed diet. He likes taking down, I have like a load of mosquito fish down here that are just breeding like rabbits, honestly, or even some of the pest snails that I have down here, which, you know, when you have 10 different species of puffers down in your fish room, having that many like feeder fish and snails to kind of help make the bill at the fish store to feed them a little bit less, not going to complain. But as for the 3rd new puffer, Isaiah, I'm going to make sure he gets a video of his own. I was originally going to put that puffer in that same video with the other 2, but one, I didn't want that video to get too long because I know it's been a while since I've actually put a video out there, other than a live stream, of course, and I didn't want it to be too long because I've learned that on a typical basis, if my videos are too much over the 10-minute mark, and understandingly so, they don't usually perform as well, and well, it's, you know, I don't want to, you know, make super short ones, but I still want to, you know, put a good deal out there of content for you. But yeah, I felt like if I talked about this other puffer that we have yet to show on camera, that video was going to get extensive very quickly. But he is coming. I'm going to try. I already have most of that video recorded already, so it's mostly just finishing that up and editing it, and yeah, y'all will see the newest puffer here soon enough. Let's see here. That was a little bit of a long description. Let's see what else we got going on here. Brienne's Fish Room, welcome. Good to see you here as well. Yellowstone Aquatics is back with us again. Good to see you, Yellowstone. Glitch Aquatics has joined the party as well. ABC Aquatic Biotape Creations. Excuse me. Good to see you here as well, ABC. Are you kidding if I just call you ABC? Looks like some other people are doing that, so I'm presuming the answer to that is yes, hopefully. We got Metalhead's Aquatic Mayhem here as well. Love it. Dave Farrell is here as well. Good to see you, Dave. Zen Ginger as well here. Did I get yellow? No, wait, yeah, I said hey, Yellowstone, but I'll say hi again. How's it going, Yellowstone? So many awesome folks here. 21 watching and 19 likes already. We're not even 10 minutes in. Y'all are awesome. But as I was saying earlier, another fish, I guess, that's really towards the top of my list with puffers and angelfish is I've always liked goldfish. And I know they're one of the most simplistic fish out there, but especially once I really learned more about, you know, how to, I guess for lack of a better word, properly keep goldfish, you know, not keeping them, I guess, in a, you know, half-gallon bowl, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's, you know, goldfish are another one that have really stuck with me just because, you know, they're simple, but at the same time, they still present their own challenges just because, you know, with them being a cold water fish, and well, as we all know, they can be a bit of a messy critter as well. So I mean, they definitely pose their challenges, but just the vibrant orange. I mean, even with some African cichlids, you can't get that vibrant orange with any other fish out there, or at least none to my knowledge anyway. But what if it's fantail goldfish or like the 4 comets that I have in there with some fantails? They've all gotten along pretty well. Some dojo loaches. So goldfish is one that's been really big with me for a while too. That because even when I was in middle school, which hard to believe that's already been about 15 years ago already. I've always had some sort of goldfish tank. I'm not going to always say what tank size I kept them in because at that point I wasn't the most educated with the fish hobby. I was still very much a puppy, we could call it. But something about just, that vibrant orange, or like even if you get like a calico goldfish, like with orange, blacks, whites, sometimes maybe even a few silver patches on them and such. It's so beautiful, just that combination they get. And it's one that, like I say, I can't think of many other fish that give you that kind of unique combination that they do. That and that some are just the all black. I mean, the all black goldfish I like too, although, I don't know, would we just call that like a black goldfish or just a dark fish or something? I mean, fantails, comets. I mean, I guess I've always kind of felt sorry for the comets too, because I know they get used as like a feeder fish a lot. And I think in middle school, that's why I always tried to, or even now sometimes, because all those 4 comets that I have in my 125, which all of them right now are at least 6 inches or bigger. I think my biggest comet right now is about, I'd say about 8-9 inches. Somewhere around that ballpark, probably more around the 9-inch range. I haven't measured them in a long time because they're always moving around, so I don't get many opportunities to do so. But like the comets and all that you see as feeder fish. I mean, that's what those are. They came from a feeder tank. I paid about, I guess here in Iowa, they're roughly somewhere between like 12 to 20 cents a piece, and just pull them out of the tank. They originally started living in my mother and father-in-law's pond in the backyard. I want to say that was about a 80-gallon pond. It wasn't too huge, wasn't too deep either, so I always had to take them out of the pond for them in the winter because their pond would totally freeze over here with the cold, brutal winters that Iowa does impose upon us, which it's getting closer. It's starting to cool off up here, but something about goldfish, just they're simple, and especially if you put them in a pond. I mean, I know a lot of people like koi fish, and I know that the two get compared a lot, but obviously goldfish don't get anywhere as big, whereas koi can get like 3 feet bigger than that even. Like I think they can get like 4, maybe even 5, and live like 100 years. Koi fish to be precise, not goldfish. But I don't know. I guess my uncle, who has kept fish for a long time, would probably sum it up to where I would say like goldfish is like a poor man's koi fish, but at the same time, I don't know. I hate to say it's a poor man's anything because they're still a lovely fish, which I'm seeing some people here now talking. Earlier, we're talking about a black Moor goldfish. And I've seen those black Moors as well, and been wanting one of those for a while. I had a telescope eye for a while that was like half orange, half black, and had him for a long time. Well, actually, a friend had him for a long time, and then he just outgrew the tank. I guess I don't want to say too much. It might have been a little too late by the time they took him out of the tank, but I had him then for like a couple or few years before he finally went. And I mean, his body size minus his back fin was about the size of a baseball, maybe even more softball size. I mean, he was a big one. Got some other folks popping in here. Hey, here's a good guy right here. Chattanooga Ed has joined the party. Good to see you here, Ed. Not sure if but those of you wondering about my Arrowhead Puffer and behind the name that I gave him, Chief, yes, it is named after the Kansas City Chiefs because, they play at Arrowhead Stadium. So the moment I got the Arrowhead Puffer, I immediately thought, this is too easy. I got to name it Chief. And right as I thought of that, I'm like, oh, Ed is going to love that. So there you go. Hey, Chattanooga, if you ever want to get a puffer, there you go. Get an Arrowhead Puffer, and you can name it like Mahomes or Tyreek or something. Let's see. Rico Stan is joining the crowd. Welcome, Rico. Good to see you. Just watched Rico Stan and Chattanooga Ed actually not too long ago. I think it's about an hour and a half ago. If y'all don't know who Chattanooga Ed and Rico Stan with Lefty, so goes live with Rico Stan here, of course. I know Chattanooga Ed has also gone live with other guys like Fishroom Fever or James. Perhaps some of you more appropriately know him by. All sorts of awesome folks. Whereas, Rico Stan, I feel like this is becoming a weekly tradition now. To those of you that don't know, Rico Stan is super, super close to 1,000 subscribers. I think he's last time I looked, I think Rico was 968. So he's just 32 away, I believe, right now, unless that number's changed since the streams earlier. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not done so already, subscribe to Rico Stan's channel. Let's get that awesome man over the 1K mark here, before Thanksgiving, as I keep saying. That way, Rico has an extra thing to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. Which, by the way, that is coming up here. That's what? Not this Thursday. No. Is that a week from this Thursday already? Thanksgiving? Or is it 2 weeks from this Thursday? No, wait, it would have to be a week from this Thursday because 2 weeks from today would be November the 29th, and there's only 30 days in November, so it can't be 2 weeks from this Thursday. That would make no sense. We'd be at November the 30, November the 33rd or 34th. That doesn't make sense. Liquid Zoo, yes. Also getting pretty close myself here. I think I'm 878 right now. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, it's coming around the corner here. I guess I will say this. If I can reach, 1,000 here before the end of 2021, I have been talking with some folks, a friend down in the Kansas City area who actually helped design or give me the idea that I should start making T-shirts and helped me design a Gator Scarf. Those of you that don't know, that's like a piece of material that goes all around and such. Sometimes skiers or snowboarders wear those. I'm thinking maybe since winter's coming around, I'm talking to a couple of outfitters about maybe designing a hoodie or something. So, hey, if we hit 1,000 before the end of 2021 here, I might have to go ahead and, get some hoodies and some more T-shirts and maybe give a couple away here to some of y'all awesome fish folk here, if y'all are interested in that is. Let's see. Chat again. Now my life goal will be to search for the expansion. Yeah, I know you got a lot of awesome fish there. Those of you that didn't see it earlier this summer, Chattanooga Ed, I guess one thing he's also had on his channel is he's had some ponds and such, in the, what do you call those things? Like troughs or something, where he had a whole bunch of guppies, and he just put them in there, and they would just breed like no tomorrow. It was actually really, really cool to see. It was so cool to, honestly, I have never had that great of luck with guppies. I don't know why. Maybe it's partially because of the city water that I have here. Or the city water, when it comes from the tap, is a little alkaline, which normally wouldn't affect guppies, but for some reason, in the two places where I've really started getting crazier into the fish keeping, I've just never had good luck with guppies, which is a bummer because it's, speaking of favorite fish, it's probably one that I love looking at because they're so colorful and they're pretty simplistic for the most part to keep. I mean, like every other fish, they have their specific needs and such, but I don't know why. It's just a fish I've never had that good of luck with. That and mollies, which mollies is kind of a bummer because they get a little bit bigger, so it's kind of a fish that you can mix with other people, or not people, but other fish, bigger fish, because since guppies don't get very big, you got to be careful with what you put them with since they could get eaten by other fish. Whereas mollies, since they get most of them average about between 3 to 5 inches roughly. Some of them maybe can reach 6. Mollies speaking. I only got one molly right now, and that's just a molly that I've had forever. I mean, I think I've had this one molly for, oh, jeepers. It's probably been over 4 years because I've had them. It's one of the few fish that I have left here that I've been keeping since before I even started doing YouTube here. I think I had him a couple years before I started YouTube, even back when I even lived in an apartment, which feels like not too long ago, but it's already been near 2 years. Here, glad to see that or hear that you like the t-shirt, Ed. I like him too here. I every once in a while, now that I've my family has recently expanded a course just 2.5 months ago. A whole bunch of her side of the family now is starting to join the Fintastic fam, whether if it's getting t-shirts or occasionally peeking in and such. So don't know many of the usernames, but if you ever see them around on here, if I ever find out, might have to say hello to them as well, because of course they're awesome folks as well, just for adopting my madness down here. See down here also, Peplin Creek Aquatics. Don't think I saw you earlier. How's it going? Welcome. Good to see you. Let's see. Another fish that I really like, and it's another simple one, is betas. And betas I like because while a lot of people, some perhaps beginners, I'm sure a lot of us here already know, things that I really like about betas is that you can put them in a community tank, because betas obviously don't get big, and they have those beautiful fins. That's why I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got 3 betas right now, but and all of them are in community tanks. One I got with a couple of Emperor Tetras, another one I got with some Cardinal Tetras. I'm trying to remember what my other one. Oh yeah, my black crown tail beta Raider. I'm not even going to try the Chris Berman impression because I will butcher it something fierce. Raider is with a Pandagara. I've also had him with other guys. He, for a while, was with even some Epistos. The Epistos, though, were showing some courtship. They've never really bred those so far. But Raider was with them for a while, and the Epistos got a little territorial and started picking on old Raider. So I had to get him out of his 20-long home, and he had to get temporarily downgraded to a 10-gallon right now. I'm seeing what I can do to maybe bump him back up to 20 gallons again. But for right now, I just don't have the space really for another 20-long, based on some other plans that I have going on down here. Chattanooga Ed also has some betas as well. E&W Aqua, don't think I saw you earlier. Welcome. Raiders. Well, I guess part of the reason I also named the black crown tail beta is because he's black and silver, so just like the Vegas Raiders, or once upon a time the Oakland Raiders. That my father-in-law is a Raiders fan. Thus, my wife discreetly is. I wouldn't call her an avid Raider fan by any mean whatsoever. I'm trying to convert her over to coming to be a cheesehead with me. But I don't know. I just always thought about her being kind of a low-end Raider fan, so it's just another one kind of like the Arrowhead Puffer. The name just kind of fell into my lap. Pride Moore's fishing more. Don't think I saw you here earlier yet today. Welcome, Pride Moore. Betas are nice, but they hate me. Yeah, I know they sometimes can be a little fussy. I'm presuming that's what you mean. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you just don't get good luck with certain fish based on a lot of things. Like, I don't know, like sometimes just when the city water comes out or wherever you're at, or if it's well water or even, I mean, that's something taken into effect. And I mean, I'm just a person that, whatever the water comes out of the tap, for the most part, I just kind of keep that in mind when I'm getting fish, because chasing parameters, I think, is going to stress out the fish way more compared to if, maybe something's just a little off. Maybe if it's not, deadly off. But as long as it's like that, then, won't be too bad, I guess. I'd rather just, have things be maybe just a little pinch off rather than try to chase those perfect parameters. Chattanooga Ed, do I have any Packer named fish? Ed, I was actually just thinking about that not too long ago. And yeah, I haven't actually got any fish down here that are currently named after any Packers right now. Well, I mean, I guess my Fahaka and, Finley. I think I was on a live stream once upon a time with, I think it was with Rico Stan, actually. Hey, I think I was saying, well, I guess you could argue Jermichael Finley, a former tight end that played at the Packers, but honestly, I didn't even think about that at the time when I named my Fahaka. But no, honestly, I don't have any fish down here currently that are named after any Packers or something, which is kind of weird now the more I think about it, because there's plenty of options out there. Speaking of Rico's, Favre would be a good one. I mean, hey, Favre would be a good one because Favre was actually my first ever NFL jersey. I won't go too much on sports because I'm sure not everybody here is a sports fan. But yeah, Brett Favre, well, one, he's the big reason why I became a Packer fan in the first place. Watched him, I mean, son of a gun would break a hand. They would just tape it up, and a few plays later, if at latest the next drive, the crazy man was out there slinging the ball, and he'd still throw, for 300 yards, 3-4 touchdowns or something. I saw him play, and I'm like, that guy's awesome. And yeah, been repping the green and gold ever since. I'm going to have to get on that, though, Ed. I'm going to have to find maybe I got to find a certain puffer. Well, there is actually one puffer that I have not shown on screen yet, like I said at the beginning of this stream, that I guess maybe a little bit of a giveaway, kind of has some Packer-like colors. So maybe we could go something down that route with him or her, whatever it is. Might have to keep that in mind, though. Let's see. Favorite fish talked about. We've talked about angelfish. We've talked about some live bears, some betas. I guess another fish that I haven't known about for a long time, but that has really grown on me, are, well, I guess even before we get into a specific fish here, my first ever fish that I got, or my first tank, back when I had a 38, which, again, this was back in middle school. I think this would have been 2007, 2006, roughly. Yeah, 07, I think I would have been 7th grade or something. I had a big Tetra community tank, and I mean, well, Tetras. I've also had some Danios in there. I think I had some zebra Danios and some giant Danios. I think I had some neon Tetras, black neons. I had some Buenos Aires Tetras. I mean, this tank was, I look back at what I all had in this tank way back when, and I probably overstocked it big time. But the more and more I think about it, and cringe when I think about it a little bit, but just all sorts of Tetras and such. And obviously Tetras are just an awesome fish in general, because again, another fish that doesn't get very big, very colorful, easy to keep, and good beginner fish. It's why it was a beginner fish for me. Although goldfish, I think, were the second one I had. Maybe I had a goldfish. Actually, no. The more I think about it, I might even be wrong on that. I think the first ever fish, well, I guess my first ever fish I had that I was somewhat involved with was platies, but my father was more of a hand on that than I was. I think the first group of fish I have ever had where it was just me doing the work pretty much was, the Tetra community tank. The platies were, looking back at, probably more of my father's tank than mine. He doesn't have any fish anymore, though, right now. My father was in this hobby for a while, too. And then, well, I came along with two brothers, and, it kind of, priorities change. Let's see. Lady Metalhead, been lurking and watching. Hello, all. How's it going, Lady Metalhead? Good to see you. Don't know if I've seen you in a stream before. Welcome. Let's see. I saw a question from Ed here again, or maybe a statement. Oh, if you have an old puffer without a name, you could go with Mason. Like Mason Crosby. There you go. That actually, that's not a bad idea, actually. Well, I guess I could go with my one remaining P puffer. I guess those of you that I don't know if I've said this on the stream before or at any point, so I guess I'll say that some. My P puffers, unfortunately, are getting very old. I'm almost changing their water, for sure at least once a week, sometimes even multiple times, because their water consistently, and after changing the cartridge and such, I think they're just starting to get really old because they're starting to show signs that maybe some things are going on with them. I've had my... Oh, shoot. I've had them for a long time. Since 2017 or something. So, I've had them for about 4 years, which is about the average lifespan for the P puffers. A P puffer average lifespan usually is about the 4-year mark. And the fact that, they were pretty much full grown when I already bought them because, when they're adults, they can tolerate a little bit more. And since that was my first puffer, I guess I wanted a little bit more wiggle room to, play around in case I made some mistakes and such. And, they've so far done pretty good up to this point. But I think, unfortunately, as the old saying is, father time is undefeated. And at some point, when their time comes, their time comes. And I think that I hope I'm wrong, but it seems like they're starting to slowly go. But I have an idea because I always want to have P puffers in my fish room because that's a fish that's just going to always be special to me. Whenever their times do come, I've got a new huge hex tank down here that I have a plan for. I might just ditch the 120 hex here that I have all together here, just so I can bring up the other hex that I'm thinking about. And I'm thinking just like a huge P puffer colony tank. I think it's going to look really awesome. But problem is the one hex tank leaks. So needs a little bit of work before I do that. So someday, though. Someday. My dad gave up on the hobby when my brother came around. Yeah, I think even when it was all three of us were in the world and we were in the house that they currently live in now, which was mostly my childhood home, he still had some fish as we were growing up. But I think as we started getting to middle school level and high school levels, that's when I think he started kind of walking away, because then obviously me and all my other two brothers, we were all very involved with sports in high school. And I think all of us were free sport athletes. I'm trying to think of the youngest one because, I think so. Because, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he only did 2. Anywho, we were involved with multiple sports. You get the point. And high school. So, once that came into the picture and, we're starting to take road trips to play at our schools and such, that kind of obviously took some of the financial attention, I'm sure. Thus, got to cut ties somewhere. My fish tanks. It was your video on hexes that helped me decide what to do with mine that you just got. Awesome. Well, that's why I make the videos, to hopefully give people ideas here. I know that's just a few of many out there. I'm kind of surprised because when I was trying to think of ideas, there wasn't even a whole lot of articles about what you do with not just hex tanks, but really vertical tanks in general. And I know that vertical tanks are maybe not controversial, but kind of a topic that, some people are kind of mixed about, because obviously people say, well, the bigger the fish, the bigger the footprint you need. And when people hear, obviously a 30-gallon hex is a lot different footprint than even, I guess, comparably to a 20 or 30-gallon tank that's like in rectangle. Because while a hex, what a 30-gallon hex is probably about what? The 20-gallon hex here, I think, is about a foot to each parallel panel. So, take that, and that's 20 gallons. A 10-gallon has a bigger, or at least a wider footprint than even a 20-gallon there. So, the gallons can be misleading, which I totally understand. But, I don't know. Yeah, it's a video that just kind of came to my head here, and I'm happy to see that it's helping out so many people because, honestly, I just put out there there's not a whole lot out there. So, you know what? I want to make my contribution. Trying to think, what's another fish that I really like? There's multiples out there. It's just a matter of, obviously, don't want to. We could talk all day about all my favorite fish if we wanted to, but I guess another one right behind me here that's really grown on me is rainbow fish. To those of you that don't know, I've called rainbow fish multiple times a luxury tetra. Mainly because, they get bigger for one. They still got the beautiful colors that tetras do. I guess you could argue if certain tetras, like the cardinal tetra, because the cardinal tetra is just a beautiful classic with that red and blue. But some of these in here, like the Port Moresby's or the turquoises. One of my favorite rainbows is probably the Bosmani Rainbows, like the blue and the orange. Madagascar Rainbows, they have blue, red. Oh, there's one of them right behind me here. Stop swimming so I can look at you. Has some red in his fins as well. Rainbows are just, it's like a tetra, only they get bigger. So, just like what I said with guppies, since they get bigger, you really don't have to worry about them getting eaten by bigger fish as much. When they're in the younger stages of their life, I got some young Bosmanis that are in a 75 grow out with some angelfish that are going well. But if you got some decent sized rainbows, peaceful fish, colorful fish, add a lot of activity to a tank. It's a awesome fish that can go with all sorts of things. And hey, it convinced me to fill up a 240-gallon tank with them. Granted, we also got some gouramis. I got some roseline sharks and ghost knife in here, which I need to do another video because we kind of got some ghost knife news down here. I'm kind of taking my time with it because without saying too much, with the ghost knife news, it's a little, I'm trying to think of a correct word that would still get the point across. I guess it's a little risky, not so much like a fatal risk potentially. Some noise is going on over by the side of me. I guess my foot must have bumped something. But I'm trying something new with one of my ghost knives here because, let's just say there's another friend coming down here. Obviously, you know about the tiger knife, but there's another knife fish down here that, I haven't talked a whole lot about. I don't know if I've even shown them on camera before here. So, gonna try something. Obviously, knife fish, you got to be careful about putting multiple of its kind in one tank because, one, knife fish get huge. They can most grow over a foot to even a foot and a half. Or if you get to a clown knife, which that's not what this knife is, to be clear. Clown knives, can grow almost to a Mabu puffer size, 3 feet or bigger. But you still got to be sometimes careful with those knife fish because sometimes they're a little territorial with each other. They can get along well if there's just like with the rainbows and all that. My black ghost knife is fine with them. So the fact that he's not attacking them makes me think okay, this could work. But alas, I don't want to say too much because then I might spoil the surprise. Chattanooga Ed talking about discus. That's another fish that I really want to try, but I haven't yet. I really want to get some discus someday. It's a beautiful fish. I'm thinking like someday, like I keep saying that in a spare 125 that I have down here in my fish room that's empty, not the goldfish tank. It's a different 125. I keep saying I want to do Oscars in that 125, mostly because one of the other main channels that I myself like to watch is KG Tropicals. And obviously anyone that's familiar with them knows that they love their Oscars as well. And it's kind of persuaded me to Oscars are a fish I've never tried, so maybe it's time I do. But kind of got the same idea for my discus. And since I already have a 75 full of angels, I'm sitting here thinking maybe a 125 full of various angelfish with some discus. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That could be pretty. Speaking of discus, Paul McCarthy's been looking at some discus today. Hopefully you found some good ones here. We got some stores here in the Omaha area that have discus, some awesome looking discus as well. But I don't know, I've never pulled the trigger on them just yet. Probably because of the puffers. Discus are not always the cheapest fish. I guess that depends on where you live, but in my area, I guess it depends on what kind you want. Way too many variations in the price there. But yeah, someday I think I'll definitely give discus a try. They're too beautiful fish not to give a try. I don't know if maybe I've missed some here earlier, but let me know what your favorite fish are here in the comments below. I'd love to know what y'all are into. Some of you guys that are here already, I already have a pretty good idea of what you're into or know what you're into, but feel free to go ahead and share. Would love to know what y'all are into as well. It's always nice to know what my viewers are into as well. Give me an idea maybe of what to talk about more. Oh, Paul McCarthy. Hey, one of my Oscars will take food from my hand. My black ghost knife in 240 here will actually do that too. I'll stick my arm in down into the water, and yeah, where if it's like beef heart or bloodworms or mysis shrimp, yeah, he'll take it right out of my hand and he'll eat it as is. Hasn't bit me yet, but there's been a couple times where I felt a little boop from his nose, but fortunately, haven't got nipped by him yet. Don't want to, though, either. Liquid Zoo. Oh, you want to know what we're into? Fish. Oh, that's great. I mean, I understand. There's a lot of us probably have multiple favorites. Lady Metalhead. Ooh, Alligator Gar. That's cool. I think I've only seen an Alligator Gar in one of my local fish stores once. We see Florida Gars a lot, but I've not seen Alligator Gars too many times. Don't Alligator Gars also get like huge, like, oh, crikey. What do they get? Crikey, I didn't even mean to do that. I know I've read about it before. Yeah, Alligator Gars get huge, I believe. Eduardo. Peplin Creek Aquatics. I'm into stars, sapphires, warm fires, and long walks on the beach. Ain't we all? Oh, I love it. I guess another fish that's a specific fish that's really grown on me lately is Exodon Tetras. So I'm sure some of you, I haven't done a video on those in a while. Oh, too. I might have to think about another update on them here. But Exodon Tetras, I mean, it's the one tetra you do not put in a tetra community tank. I mean, you could, but it's not going to end very well. But Exodon Tetras, I mean, all the stereotypes that people give like the piranhas is pretty much pinned right to Exodons. They're like little savages when they eat, and I love watching them. Like, put in some fiber bites or even some flake. Mine will eat frozen meaty foods. Mine will eat pellets. Will eat flake. I mean, my Exodons are not picky at all. I haven't tried giving them like live fish before because I feel like that's just gonna skyrocket the nitrates something fierce. So I might just save that kind of stuff for my puffers. But yeah, the Exodons, like especially if you want to see them go crazy, just put like some brine shrimp in their tank and just watch them go at it. It is so cool. Or at least with mine, it is. Oh, Lady Metalhead says they got a Florida Gar too. Okay. Oh, must have been talking about when I was talking about the Alligator Gar. Daggone, 3 feet now. That is a big one. They can grow 5 to 6 feet. Jeepers. I mean, I guess for reference, I'm 6'4", so I mean, a fish that can get about as big as me. Oh boy, that's a big fishy. That's a trophy fish. They just come like, what's the fine line between a monster fish and a trophy fish? Not the trophiest, trophy fish. Sandy says she's totally into Plecos, has a L106 orange seam, 2 rubber lips, 2 royal Plecos. Ooh, I love the royal Plecos. 73 green dragon, or 75. How did I get a 3 out of that? 75 green dragon Plecos, and 200 or so longfin and shortfin albino and brown bristle noses. Quite an array there. I got 1 royal Pleco myself here who chills out with my Angelfish group, and yeah, royal Plecos are super pretty. I love those. I used to have a gold nugget, but unfortunately, when I moved all the rainbows out of the 75 to the 240 here, most of them did just fine. But for some reason, the gold nugget Pleco did not like the move. I tried quarantining him for a while, and he didn't make the move. Really bummer because, yeah, a gold nugget Pleco is probably one of my, I wouldn't say the favorite. I'd have to think about my favorite Pleco for a minute. But gold nugget Pleco would probably be towards the top of one of my favorite or I almost said puffers. Good grief. Plecos, that is. They both start with P. Puffer, Pleco. A little bit of a reason for confusion, I guess. Victor asks, will I ever be building a pond eventually? I would definitely say someday. I want to. The only thing is right now, to be fully transparent, right now I just don't have anywhere to put a pond. I live on a 2.5 acre plot of land with my house and such, but the only issue is we're also right by a forest, and I know some of the critters that lurk by that forested area. Coyotes, owls, among other things. I've seen hawks out here before. All sorts of cool looking wildlife, honestly. That, and got some neighbors that are right next to us that have 3 German shepherds and such that they unfortunately have done better at keeping on their own land, but sometimes they get loose and such. And I don't know, because of all those in mind, I'm leery of doing an outdoor pond just because, I don't want to spend all the money on getting fish just for it to be an expensive dinner for Mr. Owl in the woods, or a hawk, or, some other critter like a fox or whatever may come along and swipe one of the fish. But someday I might have to figure something out because I know this one guy kind of is mixed between some of y'all, but I know King of DIY, when I see him with like arowanas and stingrays, I really want to try those someday. So I want to get like one of those backyard pond things, put it indoors somewhere, and maybe have like a cool little like stingray and arowana pond. I think that'd be really cool. So I have thought about it, Victor. The only problem is, right now I have nowhere to put it. Someday though, I want that. Let's see here. All sorts of awesome folks in here. Audra Meyer has joined us. Don't know if I called you out earlier here. Welcome, Audra. Good to see you. Reading through the chat. Timbo tanking it easy. I love that username. That is awesome, Timbo. Right now, my favorite fish currently would have to be an African butterfly fish. Ooh, yeah, those are unique little guys. My wife has actually been looking at those for a while, and she's been trying to talk me into them. I'm not gonna lie. I'd have to think about where I was gonna put them. I don't know a whole lot about them. Haven't researched them a whole lot currently. Might have to, because at some point I feel like she's gonna talk me into it. So, gonna have to do some homework before I finally cave in on it and bring some African butterfly fish down here. Of course, if, or probably more appropriately, when that day comes along, I'll definitely have to let y'all know when they come down here, because they are a unique little fish. And it's not that I don't like them, it's just a matter of I don't know a whole lot about them, and if I don't know about the fish, I don't buy the fish. That's just me. If I don't know anything about it, trial by error is not always bad, but if it can be avoided, then it should be avoided, or at least that's my personal mantra. All sorts of awesome folks. We got 27 people watching, 32 likes. Y'all are awesome here. Well, let's see. I can give a couple more fish here. Oh my goodness, we're creeping up on an hour. I feel like I say that like the last couple of weeks now. This time just flies right by. Goodness. Let's see. Another fish that I really like. I mean, obviously, when we talk about some favorite fish, I obviously got to talk about black ghost knives, which are just another. Talking about the African butterfly fish, another fish that's really unique. I mean, it's like a swimming ribbon. They're so beautiful. And I mean, if they weren't, I know sometimes they can be a little territorial, so you got to sometimes be a little strategic with what you put them. You don't want to put any fish in them that are too small. So unfortunately, those of you live bearer fans, guppies and mosquito fish with a black ghost knife is probably a big time no-no. But some other fish, like with some rainbows, gouramis, and even angelfish I had with him back when I had him in a grow out tank, are all things that have worked with me anyway. Could probably work with plenty of others out there. Of course, this depends on like individual fish temperaments, because just like people, fish, believe it or not, have their own personalities. So kind of got to study that a little bit at first when you get them. Some of them, I've seen some people maybe just put one other big fish with them, where sometimes people put them in communities and it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But mine has so far worked very well with the rainbows, angelfish. Those are the main things I put with them, and he's gotten along with them pretty well. The only thing, or only time, where he gets a little, I guess, disturbed by them is if they swim into his log or the cave that he's hiding out in. The moment they swim in where he's at, he's not about that. That's when he's gonna get grumpy, which I guess can't blame him for that. It's probably like a child with his parents. Little fish, get out of my room. Something like that, anyway. But I mean, the black ghost knife. I mean, just the all black. Well, I shouldn't say all black, because they have like little white stripes at the end of their tail. But the 99% black that they have on them is just another thing that just put them in a tank. Like again with rainbow fish that has various colors: the oranges, the reds, the blues, all those beautiful colors, and then put a just that sleek jet black look in there, and just makes everything pop. The ghost knife pops, the rainbows pop. You do live plants in here, that pops. I mean, just a unique fish that can really just make a whole tank pop with just that extra base color. Although I love my tiger knife though too. That's another one that's just with the tiger stripes and everything. When I first saw him, like, yep, gotta have you. Seeing some other here, Eduardo. I feel like I missed a part on here. Must be talking about some fish because you're talking about breeding. I must have missed a point here earlier. But community fish and all that, I mean, that's another thing. Community tanks are awesome. Obviously, when it comes to community fish, talked about angelfish. I know when angelfish get bigger, they can get a little more territorial, which is kind of a bummer. Although all my angelfish, I had them when their main bodies were maybe about the size of a dime. So maybe that's part of the reason why they've gotten along, and I've gotten away with having a shoal of angels in one tank for so long, because they're getting to the point now where back when I had marbles in a 55, they were getting a little nippy with each other. They were starting to say, like, hey, man, you're on my turf. Where my blue diamonds, the blue Philippines, and the other angels I have in there haven't really done that yet. I need to find some wood. Oh, need to knock on wood, because the moment I say that, that'll change. But so far, they've gotten along perfectly well, and I hope it stays a long time, because, I mean, watching a pair of angelfish swim is nice, but watching a group of them swim is another thing. Hopefully that can stay that way for a long time. Part of the reason why I'm considering instead of Oscars, putting them in the 125, because I kind of want to prolong that for as long as I can. ABC, back on the stream. Welcome back. Had to pick up the wife from work. I think I heard speaking of wife, I think I heard my wife come in here about 10, 15 minutes ago from work herself. She usually comes in here about the midway point of the stream. What else we got going on here? Or what are y'all's Thanksgiving plans otherwise here? Coming up here, not this Thursday, the next Thursday, I believe. Yeah. I believe it's the next Thursday. Thanksgiving plans, or hey, maybe Black Friday plans. I mean, hey, all of us fish keepers, I'm sure some of us on Black Friday will be checking out the deals that our local fish stores have for Black Friday. I know I'm kind of keeping that in the back of my mind here. Don't know how many I'll take advantage of, because I can't really think of anything supplies-wise that I need off the top of my head. I mean, I can always use more food, but I don't know. We'll have to see what I can find out here. 4 awesome fish stores here in the Omaha area. I'm sure that bound at least one of them has to have something pretty cool. All sorts of awesome folks here. All sorts. Let's see. I guess those of you that have stuck with the stream here for a while now that we're nearing the hour mark, I suppose, since y'all have shown a whole bunch of loyalty in the stream, I'm going to give you all here the first look at the puffer that I have not shown on a video here. I'm not going to show all of him. I'm just going to show like a little bit of him so you can kind of get an idea of what he looks like. I'm pretty sure I got a photo of him here on my phone. Just got to find the good picture of him wherever he may be. There he is. Little blurry, but we'll see how that goes. All right, y'all. So this photo might be a little bit blurry, partially because I'm just showing it on my phone here. He's hiding in his tank right now. He hides a lot. He's not an ambush puffer, which I kind of don't know why then he likes to hide. He's just a shy puffer, I guess. But I'm going to show you a little photo of him. Like I say, it might be a little bit blurry, but we'll see. Unless y'all don't want to see the puffer, which in that case, we can wait till the video. Oh, nope, I see Ed there saying, woot, new puffer. It's what I think every time I see one in a store, or if someone gives me a call, or if I see one on an order list or something, I'm always thinking the same thing like, woo, boy. I always think the same thing like, woot, woot, new puffer, yeah. All right, guys. So that's the new puffer. I'm not going to say what his species is. If you want to know what the new puffer is, or about him and what kind he is, my phone's covering my face. Can you tell I'm having fun with this? Uh-oh. One of my favorite Packer vloggers is apparently going live, and he messed up my screen. Darn it. There we go. There we go. Let's try that again. He is a cool one. Like I say, you're probably not going to get the full idea of his coloration and such, just because, yeah, that photo is a little blurry. You'll have a much better resolution when you see him on the video, which I'm going to try to get out here this week, so keep your eyes peeled. And, yeah, like I say, I initially wanted to put him involved with the other two puffers, but then the more I thought about it, and the more and more I looked up on them, it's like, dang, these guys are almost more rare than the spotted Congos. Jiminy Christmas. And the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna give him a video of his own because he deserves a video of his own. Definitely, he is a very cool puffer. And if any of y'all watched before, if you watched that show before, then perhaps you already know what it is. But that'll be the clue that I'll give for right now. I won't say any more until the video comes out here. Let's see. We've gone over an hour here. Still got to get some food here for my fishies yet before the fish stores close. I think they don't close till 8, so we're okay here for a little bit longer yet. So many people saying, Liquid Zoo, the puff puff pass. I love that. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When 1,000 comes, I've already been thinking of, like, maybe what to do for, like if I do memberships, like, what would I do and such? Because, obviously, I'm still going to be doing, I'm still going to have the day job to throw in with doing more stuff. So, I'm debating back and forth if I would even do a membership, honestly. But, obviously, got to hit 1,000 first, so I guess no use talking about it too much right now. Audra, missed you earlier there. Pal Addingham? Well, I guess I don't want to specify exactly, but I'm trying to think of exactly what he was. I don't think that was a scientific name, but like I say, I don't want to talk too much about him because, well, no use making a video then. All sorts of some people here. Love it. Oh, Liquid Zoo missed him earlier. Shy Puffer. That's what we called Rico Stan back in the day. Does he inflate when he's flustered? I'm sorry. That's probably terrible. But all sorts of awesome folks here. You know what? We'll go to about an hour 10 here, perhaps. One more fish, perhaps, that we could talk about here. Anybody got a favorite fish that they haven't mentioned yet here? Feel free to throw it in the comments here below yet. It's not too late. Not too late at all. And see, we got 35 likes, 27 people watching. I'll say it again. Y'all are awesome. And hey, we got another folk here. We got T-Bone's Fishes. Welcome, T-Bone. And you like tiger barbs. All right. Yeah, I haven't showed my tiger barbs in a long time either, but yeah, I got 3 different kinds of tiger barbs and a 36 bow. Albino tigers, green tigers, your typical tigers. Got them with some, trying to think of what specific kind of pleco that's with them. It's some sort of albino pleco. It's not a bristle nose. I think it's a albino blue eye or something like that. Yeah, tiger barbs are another one. It's kind of one of those, as I know a lot of other folks would call it, it's kind of like a Thunderdome tank without maybe a beginner Thunderdome tank. Not quite to the degree of like what African cichlids could be, I guess, but just their colors, the stripes, and of course the activity. I love it. Just they're always moving. They're always doing something. One thing I really love about those tiger barbs, yeah, they're always moving. Love that about them. That's kind of what I like about fish in general is that they move about, which I know some people then may wonder, like, well, then why the heck are you into ambush puffers when sometimes all they do is just chill on the substrate or bury themselves in the substrate? Which I don't know. Something about puffers, too. It's just always cold to me. Let's see. Pride Moor. Blue Eye Lemon? I mean, they could be. Sometimes when you go to a fish swap, I know sometimes those fish are mislabeled. It's pink, but well, not a pink. Maybe that's a terrible way. It's like that peachy like pink color on them, and yeah, they don't have a red eye about them. So I want to say that they were albino blue eye plecos. They're not bushy nose or bristle nose. I always want to call them bushy noses, and I don't know why, but something like that. But Blue Eye Lemon, I'll have to look those up. Maybe that might be what they are, or it might just be another name for them, perhaps. Xanadudu. I don't think I've said hey to you yet. How's it going, Xanadudu? Good to see you here. But yeah, so I'll say it again here. Those of you that maybe didn't hear it earlier. Lots of people getting here close to 1,000. I think even one person that I haven't seen him here today, or at least if he was here, I missed him, which in that case, if you see this again, dude, then I apologize. But Stephen P. Aquartics is another channel that's getting super, super close to 1,000 subscribers. So, I mean, hey, if you haven't subbed to him, or as I said earlier, Rico Stan is another awesome channel. I think he's like 30-something away from 1,000 here. So, I mean, hey, if you haven't already, go sub to those guys. Those guys are so close, and they're more than deserving of reaching the 1,000 subscriber mark. And, I mean, I know I'm close here, too. I mean, I still think I got, over 100 to go here. I got like about 120, 130-something to go here yet before I hit the line is right there. Rico's on the home stretch. So, hey, let's help him get there. If you haven't already, sub to that man. See, we got a couple of others joining here. Fish Adventures got a here. Oh, Fish Adventures is almost to 100, or not 100, jeepers, 1,000 as well. Well, hey, make sure you sub to them as well here. I mean, hey, that 1,000 mark is such a huge milestone. And I mean, I understand when it's to anybody out there, I will say this: if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, and this isn't even just about fish. Like, if you want to start a YouTube channel and say you want to do sports or maybe like traveling or outdoors or like just fishing and such. I mean, hey, before you do anything, I mean, my advice would be, make a plan. Like, what do you want your channel? Like, what's your goal? Like mine, I mean, part of it is just to kind of show off my hobby. Because, I mean, initially when I started my channel, it was just to show off numerous family that I had, the fish room, because I've had family that have aquariums and such themselves. And yeah, initially just made this as a channel to show them what I've been doing down here. And then wife and I go out to, do some stuff for a couple of days. I think we had a little weekend vacation or something. And I come back home and I'm like, whoa, the channel's over 100 subs now? Jeepers. I mean, I have a big family, but not that big. When I saw that, I'm like, that's kind of when I first saw, like, you know what? We might have something here. Let's see where this goes. But I mean, to those of you that are thinking about starting a channel, I mean, it's got to start somewhere. I know at some point, I get it. There's all sorts of questions going through your head. Like, am I sure that I'm gonna, are people gonna want to watch this? Are people gonna, see me at first? And don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's plenty of times where running a YouTube channel can be stressful, and it can be, there's times where even after you push yourself to finally get going for a while, I get it. It can be discouraging for a while. But I mean, guys, here's the thing about starting a YouTube channel, or really starting anything big. Before anyone's going to give you a chance, you got to give yourself a chance. That's how I would word it. Before anyone else is going to give you and your YouTube channel a chance, you got to give yourself a chance first. Like, put some content out there, and, it's going to take some time. All good things usually do. I mean, good things take time, but you know what? Hey, as a famous Packer coach used to say, his name was Vince Lombardi, the harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. This feels like it just turned into a TED Talk. Turned into like an inspirational, motivational, well, maybe inspirational, like TED Talk video. Let's see. But I mean, yeah, like I think my first video, like when I posted my initial fish room tour video down here, my first one ever, I didn't even have my voice on it. It's just like background music. I think I only had 6 people subscribed to the channel at that point. So, I mean, hey, just know it's got to start somewhere. So, when's the best place to start? Right here, right now. I mean, hey, you're not getting younger. Let's see here. Dan's World of Fish and More. Just getting started. Thanks for the encouragement. Absolutely, man. I mean, I say, hey, I get it. Sometimes, I mean, I'd be lying. Sometimes, yeah, I get discouraged. Sometimes like, oh, this is, it feels like it's not going anywhere. But, part of it's just because, you got to love to do it too. Because, I mean, and that's why I keep going. I mean, I love to do it. I love fish. And part of it's just, to show what's out there. Because I know a lot of people like puffers. I like puffers. And, hey, y'all make this possible as well. Seeing all you guys, like even watching my videos, the live stream, it's so awesome to see. All sorts of awesome people here. Her Skipper's Aquariums. I don't think I saw you early. Welcome, Skipper. Another awesome channel right there. But yeah, I mean, folks, that's why, I mean, hey, if you see a new channel here, like even if I sometimes see videos sparingly, I mean, one extra sub can still go a long way. Because, I mean, hey, it's, there's a reason why we call it the Fish Fam, right? One big fishy loving family. Let's see here. Yeah, it's getting close to 6:15. Let's see. Oh, ABC. I have 2 180s. Lucky son of a gun. I wish I had one 180. Well, I guess I got a 185. But I would love another 180 to give my Fahaka another upgrade. She's I guess it's not mandatory because I guess her 150 would be, it's probably about I guess if you were asking me for a care guide on a Fahaka, that'd be my minimum. But I don't know. I think at some point I want to bump her up to a 180. I think she's going to be happier in not having that extra 2 feet of space to swim. All sorts of awesome, folks. But yeah, folks, I got to still get some food for my fish here. So I'm going to bounce and call it a stream. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in here. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my latest video. I know a lot of y'all here like the new puffer videos and such, or just when I talk about puffers in general. And yeah, update on, showing off an Arrowhead Puffer, a Congo Puffer that we got down here. You want to know more about that? Be sure to, watch my latest video on those guys if you haven't already, as well as an update on my figure 8 puffers, which I know I've said a couple times and I'll say here again. We have them now in brackish water, which is awesome. I'll have to do a video on like setting up a brackish tank because, I got some green spotted puffers still that need to be upgraded and moved to another tank. So, yeah, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was like, maybe at some point you can make a video about how to make a brackish aquarium, which I think is an amazing idea. I'll have to do just that someday. But all y'all, thank you so much for coming. Sorry if I missed anybody here in the chat or didn't say hello. Obviously, talking a lot, and so sometimes I lose track of the chat and such. I guess I see a couple here. Discus Talk came in. Christine Hansen. See that we also had Freaky Fish Lady in here. I don't believe I said hi to any earlier. Glad that y'all can make the stream here. But thank you all again so much for coming here. Y'all are awesome. I will see you all in my next video, which hopefully I'll have one about that new puffer that you have yet to see out later this week. Stay fantastic, guys.